to the final daily draw. Well, we have been here for almost a year now with 2 big sets of daily draw to help you through homeschooling. We really hope that it's helped, and we loved seeing all your drawings. So I had to think really hard about what to do for the last one, and I wanted something that really expressed joy. Joy as we start to come out of lockdown, joy as you think about going back and seeing all your friends at school next week. So we've gone for Tigger. I couldn't see anything more exuberant and joyful. So Tigger it is. Grab your pencil, let's start drawing. Okay, so of our final daily draw from our very long lockdown, almost a year after we started it, and I wanted to choose something that really sort of celebrated the daily draw and the thousands and thousands of you who have drawn with us over the last 12 months. And this just was the most joyful picture I could find, and I love Tigger, so we've gone for it. So you can see here, this is the finished picture. And this is where we start. We're just going to start with a rectangle and build a few shapes on and really develop it. This is a really easy one. Everybody's going to love it. I just know you are. So I'm going to do mine in my watercolour sketchbook here, from our daily draw packs. Do it on my watercolour paper so that I can use my watercolour pencils, but do it using whatever you can get your hands on. And I'm going to just start with a pencil, and I'm going to find the middle. I'll just show you here quickly how we're going to do this. Here, if I start with these shapes, and you can then either work with me or pause and then catch up. And then from those shapes, can you see I'm just going to curve it all off because these are quite straight, and he's not. He's all little bends and wriggles. So we'll put those shapes in, and then we'll finish here with his stripes. So I'll pop those 2 out of the way. Let's get this one here just underneath. And we'll get ready to go. I always start by really trying to find the centre of the page, and it's about there. So if I go down a little bit from there, and I'm going to bring in this first line. That's all we're going to start with, a line. All these lines are going to be rubbed out, so keep them really nice and light. Look how loosely I'm holding my pencil. Really loosely and lightly. And we'll go up here, there, like that. I'm not using a ruler or anything. It's just a little rectangle which will give us the idea of where the shapes go, and then we'll start to build it. So that's our central one. Let's put these top shapes in. I'm going to take this not halfway across, just about a quarter, and up there this will form one of his arms. And the same coming down to there. And I'll do the same, but this time I'm not going to do it from the top bit. I'm going to do it here. You see where I've taken that from the corner. I've got that one too. So if I'm going too fast for you, don't worry, you can pause it. You can pause it at the end of this bit, and you can just pop the shapes in. Right, I'm going to take it up from there now with a little shape there. This will become his head. It's not a circle at all, this shape. So let's just start here, and we can just build and develop it at the next 2 stages coming around. I might have gone a bit big there. I think I probably have. Let's take it down now so it doesn't confuse me. It doesn't actually go any higher than this. So if I'm going to do it there like that, and then coming in there, and I will work on that later, but that's just a start. Never overthink these things, just a start. Right, so that's the top bit. Coming down here, I'm going to carry that line on there. I'm going to take it out a bit there and then come down, and then look here at the bottom, I'm going to curve. This is going to be his bottom there, and a little line. Right, let's take some lines out for his legs. This one goes slightly above and down, and then this one is there. Let's just continue that line there, straight out, and a small angle there. Right, let's put in his bouncy tail now. So if I'm going to come in with 2 lines, another 2 lines, and then here a rectangle at the bottom, and that's our basic shapes. So pause now and just take your time to get the shapes in the right place, to get them relative in size to each other, and then we'll move on to the second bit. So you can see here, all of those shapes in red, we're going to work around them now. So we'll be rubbing quite a few of them out. Let's start here with his head. So we've got that shape in there. It's quite an odd shape, actually. You've got to really think about it. Don't think, if you think about drawing what you feel you should, like a circle for the head, it all goes a bit wrong. You've just got to draw what you see. So stay with me here. We're going to come in down. I'm coming in slightly from that side of the rectangle, look, using that as a guide. I'm going to come down to the bottom of the arm. It feels really long, this, but it isn't, it's right. That's why we put the shapes in. And then we'll take that, but it looks very odd, doesn't it? Like a duck's beak almost. But then it will make more sense when we put this bit in as well. So let's put the next bit in. There. Now, if that feels too long at the next stage, we can rub it out slightly, but I think it's right. I'm going to come down not too much from the top there, and I'm going to pop in a circle for his nose, and then I'm going to take 2 lines out. 1, 2. So we've started now on the top of his head. So really take your time on that bit. Let's pop in his ears as well, and they come quite a long way out and cross. There, 1, 2. I think that line probably should have come a bit further up. So what I'm going to do now, we've got that bit of the head. I'm going to take the top of the arms now. Look here, that line is just going to come in there like that. And I am going to bring his head out a little. Remember, I rubbed that out. I was actually right first time that it did come out. So I've got that bit there, and then from the top of the ear there, I'm going to take it out in a thumb and in a hand, and then I'm going to bring that down, round, and finish there. You see, so I'm just working from that shape that I've got. I can rub that out now. Sometimes after you've rubbed bits out, you have to come back in and do them again. So I'm going to get rid of that rectangle we put in. Comes down there. Let's do the second hand then. So I'm going to stick here this time. I'm going to stick to that line there. But here I'm just going to go slightly above it. A little thumb. I'm going to take that hand out to there. The hands feel enormous. Going into there, and that one is sticking pretty much exactly to that shape we had. So everything that was red, that you can see is red on there, I'm just coming in and rubbing out. One of the reasons to put the shapes in first and to get the sizes, when you start drawing it, it feels wrong. You'll be thinking, oh, the arms feel too wide, the face feels too narrow, but these are the proportions, and it really helps us by getting the shapes in. Right, I'm going to come in now, and I'm going to just work on that line there. Can you see how we just curve in and down to there? And there, I'm going to take it out a little, and down to there. So again, using that shape as my guide. I've got that coming down. I don't really need the square in anymore. I'm going to work on the legs. Let's start with this one this time. You see here, look how I've come out there. I'm going to come out. Might start here with that bit of the thumb, really using that rectangle as my guide. Coming round and out slightly. You see there? And then here, just going to go there and rest. But there, I think I might have done it a little bit too big, my rectangle, so I've got, oh, there, that's right. You have to trust your shapes. Coming out there, it goes up and round. So we've got the first leg in there. Let's go over to this side then. Exactly the same, coming up to there. And I'm going to use the edge of that triangle there coming in, going up, and then coming round. So we've just lost every straight edge pretty much. There are no straight edges. Tigger is all curves and bends. There we go. So I'm finding those shapes incredibly useful. They've really helped to get him the right size. There we go. All we've got left to do now at this stage is his tail. So his tail at the moment you can see is very straight, and we're going to come in and make it really wiggly. Get rid of those lines. We've got a lot of stripes that we're going to put in at the next stage. So we will leave him there, and then we'll come on to the stripes at the next stage. Right, let's finish this Tigger off now, and we'll start with his joyous grin here. So can you see, coming down from the nose, we've got that tiny line there, and then come down quite a bit here and just take it up. 1, 2, you see? And then we've got that fabulous mouth here that we're going to put in red. Now his eyes are very simple. If you did Luigi with us earlier this week, it was much harder, but these ones, look, 1, 2, that's it, they're closed. My doggy does that when he's really happy, closes his eyes, and then we'll just take that line up there. 1, 2. So all we've got left now is to work through these stripes, and I'm going to start on his face here. Up at the top he's got what looks like eyebrows. There's 2 stripes there. 1, 2, and I'm going to take that line as if it goes down and into the ear there, and into the ear there. And then we've got 3 on this side. Can you see? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So on each side. 1, 2, 3. And on that side, 1, 2, 3. And here on the face, I'm going to put in these whiskers, and I've got 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. I love drawing whiskers. 1, 2, 3. So can you see Tigger's really coming to sight, but he isn't Tigger without stripes. He has to have stripes. So don't overthink these, but just look at the shapes and think about where they are in relation to each other. I've got 1, 2 coming down from that side, and I've got 1, 2 coming down from that side. 1, 2, and then from here, if we go in there, we've got that little shape there, and then I've got 1, 2, 3. Can you see? 1, 2, 3. So don't worry if you can't keep up with me. Just do it at your own pace. You can pause and come back. Same on this side. So we've got that line coming there like that. And then this time, 1, 2, 3, 4. I always break it up into areas. Sometimes when you're looking at a whole picture, it can feel really overwhelming. If you think, I'll just do that arm, just do that, these little stripes on that arm, suddenly it feels much easier. So that's the top half of him done. Let's come down now. If I make this a nice solid line there, that'll help me a little bit. And now I'm going to come down. I'm going to take a little line there and a little line there. And all I'm going to do is work on those little stripes. So I've got a kind of square. They're all a bit odd shaped, aren't they? 1 there. Just looking at the shapes. Back to shapes. 1 there. And then that very strange one. They're all quite strange shapes on that edge. Coming in. And on this side, here look, we've got that one shaped like that there. 1. Another strange shape there. 2. Coming out. That one there. So that's his tummy shapes. But here on this side, can you see how we've got this little line? That's because if I bring the colour one in, the central bit of his tummy is yellow, so just go like that, bring that line down. Now this one here is going to come right the way round to there. You can see a really big stripe. Another one there. And a little one there on the foot. Coming round. Coming round. Right, let's do the same here on this side. One big stripe. And another one. Now here, I've got a stripe and up. There we go, and we've just got, this will help us when we're colouring that yellow bit in. Can you see we've got a sort of V line there? So all we need now is to finish it off with the tail. Into stripes. And that is our Tigger drawing. Now stick with me and you can see what colours I'm going to use. Okay, so not many colours today. We've got, obviously, because he's a Tigger tiger, we've got a black and an orange, and I'm also going to use a yellow and I'm going to use a red as well, but I'll put aside the others and I'm going to start here with the yellow. And where I'm going to use it is here. You see? All around there. Under the nose. And round the mouth. And then we can come in and we'll do the same with his tummy. And I'm going to take it down to that V point there. Doesn't go all the way to the edge, it just goes up to there. Can you see? So that's the yellow there, and there's just one more bit here up at the top. Can you see that shape above the nose? And then the bottom half of the ears. Now I'm going to take my brush. I'm going to turn this to paint. There, that bit there, and then come around. Be quite careful with my brush here. Okay, and that'll dry quite quickly. So as that's drying, I'm going to come in and start on the arms with the orange. I'm going to go around each of the stripes. And because I want it to be a really, really bright, jolly orange, which is what this Tigger is, I'm pressing quite hard. If I wanted it to be a soft orange, I'd just go quite lightly, but I don't want it to be really bright. So I'm going around each of those stripes. And you can just look at, can you see what I'm doing here? I'm just looking at what's in there and around those bits. Right, I'll get my brush now and turn those bits to paint. And the reason I'm doing it as I go around rather than doing all of it is that then by the time I come to do the stripes here, it'll be totally dry. So this kind of painting doesn't take as long to dry as normal watercolour painting. It does dry quite quickly because we're not putting a great deal of water down. But it can, the colours can run into each other if they're not dry before you move on to the next stage. So it's always worth being a bit careful. It's a bit frustrating when you've gone to a lot of effort with your drawing and then the paint runs into each other. So just be aware it can take a minute or two. It's worth going off, getting a little drink or a snack, or then coming back. Right, so those bits turn very quickly to paint. I'm going to do this leg now. It's such a jolly bright orange, isn't it? So we have got other Winnie the Pooh pictures in the archive, and we've got two, but they're not the Disney ones. They're more based on the illustrations, which I absolutely love, the E.H. Shepherd illustrations in the books. So you can find, here we go. You can find Pooh sticks, and what was the other one we had? There was Pooh sticks, and then there was another one we did. Oh, I know what it was. It was one of my favourite pictures. Winnie the Pooh floating off on a cloud, which he'd got a blue balloon so that he was disguised, floating off looking for honey. Oh, I went slightly above there. I'll have to do that to bring it in. I'm getting too excited thinking about Winnie the Pooh because I love Winnie the Pooh. That's why I wanted to finish on this. It is such a happy picture as well, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to take my brush down, very quickly turn them all to orange. Right, let's go on the other side now. Just putting the paint down. Now, if you go over the bits that are supposed to be black, really don't worry, because the black will cover it. Now I'm going to give this a pencil. One of the things you will notice with these pencils is, sharpen that quickly, because you're using the paint, they do go down quite quickly. Right here, we've not got much orange at all, just a couple of flashes, and the rest of it is black. Here we have. Right, that should be pretty much all the orange in except on the face, and I will do that now. Top of the ears, around the stripes, onto that, top of the ears, around the stripes. Right, let's turn that first. We want that to dry so we can work in the face. Then I'll take my brush and just come and turn all this. I can't begin to name how many of the Disney characters we've done during lockdown. So many, and you've all been great doing them and showing them to us. We won't take the YouTube channel down. We feel like it has really given, although we made it for a very specific reason, which was to help families through both lockdowns in 2020 and 21, to help with homeschooling, to give children a creative break, and but we'll keep it up because We know lots of you have really started to put drawing into your lives, and it's absolutely brilliant. We love it. Right, I'm going to come in now with my red while I'm waiting for the rest of that to dry. What I'm going to do, 2 different types of painting here, so watch closely. Very lightly on the nose so that I get pink, but really look at the difference in colour if you look at it over there, really hard here. So that I get that very dark red. And there's 2 reds in the Daily Draw pack. Look at the difference, right, there we go. I've used the same one here, that's the pink for the nose. This is a kind of crimsony red, so you can test them out. One's a really red and the other one is a crimsony red. Right, that's his mouth in. Right, let's start on the black. We've got, so I put a different one out there, but you'll use the black now and start to put in the stripes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in, but I'm going to fast forward it slightly so that you don't have to sit and watch while I go over every single stripe. Okay, now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to turn each of these stripes very carefully to paint. Okay, we are nearly done now, so I'm just going to finish him off up here at the top with that top stripe and his little eyes. I'm going to go around his nose and then I'm going to just outline it because I just think he really needs that black line around there and around there. I'm putting in those stripes, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and once I've got his ears in there, I'm also going to put in his whiskers. And I'm going to go around his mouth. You can see it's not quite dry yet. Best thing would be to wait till it's dry, but that's fine. And then I'm going to just go around the edges of him. Oh, it's so nice for the very last one to finish with Tigger, one of my totally favourite characters ever. Here we go. I've just got to turn that last bit. I'm going to do that at the end. I didn't want my hand to catch in it. Bringing that around here. A couple of little lines on his tummy there. Almost done. So the very last thing, here we go, I'm going to go around that whole tail, bouncy tail. is just to do those tiny bits at the end, and then that is our Tigger. Oh, I hope you loved that. I hope you really felt like it was such a jolly, lovely picture to finish the daily draw on. It's been an amazing year, quite challenging, trying to come up with all these different ideas every day, but Elizabeth and I have loved it. So just remember, there are masses of daily draw videos there for you. So if you've missed any, you can go back and redo them. Make sure you subscribe, because we will be back. We will be back, not with a daily draw, but we'll be back with the odd art lesson here and there on our YouTube channel. So you'll need to subscribe to make sure that you get a notification when we put something on. So from me, from Elizabeth, from Cooper the dog, and the whole Little Art School team, enjoy going back to school next week. We've loved drawing with you. Take care and stay safe.